Hi everyone. It is a gloomy, miserable morning today in Warsaw, which I guess is appropriate because it sort of reflects my mood for today. So what's the cause of my malaise and gloominess? I'm not sure if I'd call it gloominess. I mean, that suggests a certain amount of misery, and I don't know. I can't characterize if it's sadness, misery. It's just something there. I was reflecting on what it could be, and hey, Christmas is just around the corner. And I think around this time of year, I often reflect on Christmas as a thing. And yeah, it's a bit, I don't know, it's a thing. Let's get into it a little bit, unpack why it's not a great time of year for me. Well, I suppose first let's think about my memories, my thoughts of Christmas and what that kind of triggers in the nostalgia banks. And I have to say my childhood Christmases were probably as close to perfection as they could be. I remember big family gatherings, massive banquets of food, selections of meat and desserts covering an enormous table, sausages wrapped in bacon, roast potatoes roasted to perfection, thick meaty gravy. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. But more than that, just that sense of togetherness as a family. And regardless of whatever gifts I got or whatever I would receive, that was of less importance. That sense of togetherness was so strong. Those places and times are etched into my memory and always will be. But I know that I'll never get those back. They've gone. I could never recreate them. Most of the people, well, a lot of the people, they're no longer with us for one reason or other. Those physical places, those locations where those took place, I'll never go there again for one reason or other. And it's that loss of childhood. It's bittersweet. The fact that I got to have those pleasant memories is something worthy of celebration. But the fact that that will never be recreated, it's kind of sad. Regardless of however I might spend this coming Christmas or who that might be with, it's never going to reach those heights. But that's true, I think, of everybody. I think our childhood Christmases are always the pinnacle of our Christmas experience, at least for a lot of us. That's obviously not true for everyone. But so yeah, there's that sense of bittersweet inability to replicate and capture that childhood magic. And there's always that sense of nostalgia in the air around Christmas time, harking you back to that. So it almost sets itself up to trigger that kind of bittersweet memory. I mean, these days what Christmas represents is a kind of furtive anxiety whether or not I'm going to be able to afford everything that I'm going to need to buy, and the inevitable crushing disappointment for myself and for others that I'm not going to be able to provide that. You know, I can't afford the sort of gifts that people want. I can't be there in person because traveling around Christmas time is just the worst. I can't do that. And being around my family at this time of year as well, I went back, if you watched my videos in the summer when I was back in the UK, it was difficult. And to have that around the Christmas experience as well, I think it would just be a bit too much for me, to be honest. And in any case, like, there's always that sense of, regardless of whether or not I was transitioning, I wouldn't really want to go back there anyway. It's just really quite anxiety inducing, the traveling, this sense of needing to buy the stuff to get the stuff to be in these places at this particular time. Everybody seems to be kind of having their anxiety levels ramped up to 15, and patience and grace for others seems to be not exactly present. So it's tough. It's not so bad in Poland, I find. It's not quite so ramped up, and maybe it's better in the UK these days. I don't know. As I say, I've not been back for a while. And beyond my own semi-selfish thoughts as well, I think about others around this time of year and how there's going to be so many of us, so many people out there unhappy, anxious, scared about the future, but also unwelcome in the present. How many of us are actually unable to see our loved ones because they won't want to see us. And that's really sad. It's really quite heartbreaking how so many of us just won't be accepted by the people around us. It's just so bad. It just breaks my heart every year. And it's funny because I know the tone of this video is in stark contrast to that of last week's, where I was talking about positivity and jokes and stuff. I don't know, I guess it's just life. 1 minute you're feeling it, and the next minute you're just feeling, nostalgic, I suppose, in a sort of gloomy way, if that makes sense. But as someone quite succinctly put it last week, who cares? I don't expect any of you to. I make these videos for myself, and it's just nice for me to talk to the universe sometimes, and if you decide you want to join me on that conversation, it's much appreciated. There's no obligation for you to join in. Alright, anyway, so I hope that you are all looking forward to your own personal Christmases, and you've got some amazing, wonderful plans, and I would really love to hear about them, and please do share them. Don't feel like you're rubbing it in or anything. If you are, I just want to hear some stories of joy and happiness, and it would make my day if you could do that. So yeah, share your stories, share your Christmas stories in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.